Hey book besties, I'm Haley.
And I'm McCayleigh. Welcome back to Two Chicks and a Plot Twist.
Season 2 is here and we're messier, moodier, and more obsessed with fictional men than ever.
Expect chaos and all the twists your TBR can handle.
Let's get plot
twisty! This episode is powered by Hotshot Services, offering fast and dependable freight delivery when timing matters most.
Based in East Texas, they specialize in urgent hauls day or night. Whether it's equipment, materials, or high-priority cargo, they'll get it where it needs to be 24/7.
When deadlines are tight and reliability is everything, delivers. Call 903-801-9517 or click the link in our show notes to book your haul today. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Two Chicks and a Plot Twist. We have such an exciting episode today because we're doing a deep dive into Lauren Roberts' newest novella, Fearful.
If you've been waiting for this one, you're in the right place because we are going all in, which means spoilers. This episode is absolutely packed with them. So if you haven't read Fearful yet, go grab it first, read it, and then come back and hang out with us.
And if you need a refresher on the Powerless series before getting into this novella, don't worry. We dropped a full recap episode at the beginning of the month. That's the perfect place to start if you want to catch up.
But if you're ready to talk all things Fearful, let's get into it. And let's start off with what we expected going into this one. So, McCayleigh, what did you think before you started it?
Yeah, so I kind of brought this up in our other recap video for Powerless. I had originally thought it felt unnecessary to have, this novella after everything was over already. And I guess the only reason I thought it would have been necessary is if she planned for future series to connect, just like in Sarah J. Maas's Massiverse. If she's trying to do the same thing, then okay, I get it. But all of a sudden we need this new character to to show us the behind the scenes. I don't know. But what about you?
I thought the same thing. It felt super unnecessary, and I just had this underlying feeling that I just wasn't going to like it because at the end of Fearless, I had to look back at my series to see what the last book was. At the end of Fearless, even after the epilogue, which so many people loved it, I still did not like Kit. So going into this, I was like, I don't like Kit at all, so we'll see. I also think that some authors have a difficult time with getting rid of their characters and saying goodbye and with killing their characters and just letting go of them. So I really worried about that being happening to this novella, which I'll talk about later and I'll let you know if I thought it, but we'll see. But yeah, I just feel like maybe Lauren has a tough problem letting go of Kit. So we'll see.
Kit hater.
Sorry. Okay, guys, those were our thoughts. So let's just go ahead and get into the Fearful breakdown. So right from the start, guys, we are starting off with Mara, who is literally death, and she is so lonely. She gets pulled back into the world of Ilya when Kit takes the plague. From that moment, she's fascinated with him.
Kit keeps skirting the line between life and death, and Mara can't stay away. He thinks she's a healer at first, but eventually learns the truth. She is death, and he's not afraid of her.
Their bond deepens when they strike a deal. I'll teach you how to live if you teach me how to die. But Mara's feelings blur the line. She once loved a past Azure king, and she wonders if things will be differently with Kit. Spoiler alert, they're not.
Kit is spiraling this whole novella. He wants to unite all the kingdoms, do the world a favor, and basically get rid of ordinaries by trying to make everyone elites. Totally impossible.
He's jealous of Kai constantly, especially how everyone, even Mac, chooses Peyton over him. He obsesses over Kai, thinks Kai hates him, and he's convinced that he's a monster.
He almost dies multiple times, like in the carriage blast, and as his health declines, his memory starts failing. He forgets giving Peyton his mother's letters, he forgets his wedding, and he just keeps spiraling.
Meanwhile, we've got Blair and Lenny. Blair's mom is controlling and cruel, and Blair envies Peyton's freedom. She dreams of being a baker, and she and her mom had a deal. If she won the trials, she'd finally be free.
Lenny's job is to protect Blair, but their relationship starts to blossom into something much sweeter. He even learns to cook with her. It's really adorable.
But things get messy. Blair and Lenny plan her death so she can escape. Peyton almost actually kills her in the fire. Blair sees Mara in that moment, who tells her to get up and escape. Eventually, Blair makes it to Loot, where she and Lenny start a quiet life together.
Back to Mara and Kit. He wants to see his mother in the moors. Mara temporarily kills him so he can cross over, but instead of his mom, he sees his father, who's still disappointed.
Mara spends more time with him, but she starts imagining a future where they rule the moors together. When she suggests we could rule, Kit is like, wait, what? He's enjoyed her company, but he doesn't want to be tied with her in death.
That rejection flips a switch in Mara. She thought Kit would be different, but when he proves he isn't, she's furious.
And finally, this brings us to the devastating climax we all knew that was coming, Kit's death. During a sparring match with Kai, it's actually Mara who drives the fireplace stoker into his chest.
Even so, Kit accepts death peacefully, just like he promised Mara, but Mara is still angry. She lets him have peace, temporarily. Then she rips it away, saying she'll make his existence miserable.
In the epilogue, Mara meets Peyton and Kai's daughter and hints that this child might have powers tied to death. She even says, quote, I have finally met my match. Cue my theories.
And then, in a bonus chapter from Kai's point of view, we see older Kai writing letters to his daughter. He even gets a moment to talk with Kit again, giving the whole story a bittersweet ending.
Well, guys, now that we've picked apart the plot, it's time for our reviews.
And shocker, we don't agree on this one.
Which pretty much never happens, but when it does, it's so fun. So I'm excited to see what all your thoughts are.
Yeah. So go for it, Haley.
Me go for it.
Yes, I would love to hear you before we get to mine.
Okay, guys. So I have to be honest, Fearful was such a letdown for me. I was bored the whole time. I went in expecting Mara, Death's point of view to be super interesting, but she came off real bitchy and I got real tired of her really fast. It was so hard to stay invested with how annoying she was. And the story itself, I don't think needed to exist. And like I said earlier, I don't think that Lauren Roberts could let go of Kit and just understand that her character has died, but she wanted to bring him back. And the whole thing, it just dragged. And I still don't like Kit, still hate him, didn't do anything for me. So just overall, this one was super disappointing, which, I mean, I love pretty much the rest of the series. But this one was just like, eh. If you want to read my full review, it's on Goodreads. I had to sit on this book for almost 2 weeks because I didn't know like what to write for my review because I was just so sad that I was so disappointed with a series from books that I really had enjoyed in the past.
Wow.
But go ahead. I know you think something different.
Okay, so here's where I kind of like fall a little bit. So for me, I write my reviews immediately. When I finish the book, I make sure to write my review and I rate the stars, all of it. And hearing you say you wait a few days, I'm like, maybe I should have done that. But just because it's so easy for me to fall into reading others' reviews and being like, oh, wait, maybe your review actually makes sense, you know, or whoever's review it is that I'm reading. Well, because my review, guys, I was in a happy, good mood, I guess. I said 5 stars. I approve this message. Signed, a certified Kit girly. Which I am a certified Kit girly, okay? I love Kit. Have since the first book. I don't know what it is with me, but true villain, true... yeah. Well,
McCayleigh loves a prince.
Yes, that's what it is. It's the prince. It's not even the villain aspect. I just love my royal man, I guess. But, yeah, I understand the not needing this book. And also, if I really start thinking about it, I listened back to a old Lauren Roberts interview. Maybe it was with I'll Read What She's Reading. Maybe? I think it was them. But she was interviewed by them and she had mentioned that, yeah, it's not writing for fun anymore now that she had been picked up by a publisher and is now, and at the time she might have only had Powerless and Reckless out, or Powerful. I don't know. It was like only 2 books. And she was like, well, now it's a job. I'm signed for so many books and now I have to write them.
Right.
And now us saying this last book feels unnecessary. Well, maybe it was, but she was signed to do 5 books total for the series. So I'm also wondering if that played a part. And I know that's something she won't admit because it's her work and it's her book baby.
Right.
But just speculation here. I think that might be a factor.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the only reason, and I will die on this hill, the only reason that I could see her even inventing Mara for this and giving us the book is to bridge this series for future series.
Right.
And even Mara's quote to I met my match, like that is a foreshadowing
For sure. Yeah.
quote. So I think that would be my only theory too. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like combine both of our segments there. But that's where I stand. But if I look back at it now, I do think my favorite part of the novella though would be learning about Blair and Lenny, because those two
I didn't like that. I thought it was so weird.
What?
I hated it.
Okay.
It brought me back to Fearless during our Fearless episode. And I was like, I hate Lenny in this episode so much because he is supposed to be such a good friend for Peyton. And now we understand, he's not a good friend to Peyton because he's hanging out with Blair the whole time. It just felt I don't know, I just felt kind of sad for Peyton on the inside.
Yeah.
In the relationship, I don't love Blair. I think that in this book, we got to learn more. We got to uncover all her layers. We understand that she also has these nightmares about killing Adina, just how Peyton has the same nightmare. So she has all these emotions and feelings, but I don't know. I don't like her still. I don't know, but I'm glad that she got her happy ending with Lenny and that she's doing her own thing somewhere else, but I just didn't do anything for me. I could have gone the rest of the series not caring about what she does.
Yeah, I think it definitely built her more as a human rather than just the bad guy.
Yeah.
Just because we learn her familial issues with her mom and all this, and then they run away, But I do think, again, that it all ties back to, did we need this novella?
Right.
But, I mean, I bought it. I read it. I'm sure the rest of the world who's read the series has done the same. So it hasn't been a loss for Lauren Roberts at all. Okay, Haley, let's say you need something hauled like yesterday.
Urgent cargo, tight deadlines, maybe a little panic in your voice?
You need Hotshot Services. These guys are built for fast, reliable freight delivery 24/7. They're based in Longview, Texas, but they haul all over the United States.
It's giving zero excuses, all hustle. From oil-filled equipment to random, we need this across the state by midnight vibes. They're on it.
Call 903-801-9517 or find the link in our show notes to book. They're the real deal when it comes to fast, professional hotshot service.
Because when it has to be there on time, you don't gamble. You call MMM. MMM Hotshot Services.
Driven,
reliable,
Texas tough. What are your theories?
So we talked about it before. Kit, which is Peyton and Kai's daughter. I hate that they named her Kit, but whatever. Yeah. She's got some type of power that will tie into Mara and tie into death, like McCayleigh and I talked about before with that quote that we pulled. So we'll see. It's also been hinted that Mara was a past queen of Ilya, so I don't know if maybe she was the past queen where the king released the plague to do the elites and ordinaries, that whole thing. I don't know, but I think that she was a past queen. And I've seen some theories swirl around. I can't remember that queen's name, but when Peyton went to the desert to get the crown, people are saying that that's hers. So I don't know. I can't remember what her name is off the top of my head, but that's all I have. Like McCayleigh said earlier, this is just going to tie into what's next for Lauren. So I'm excited to see what happens next.
Bridging the series, that was my only theory.
Yeah.
Haley's the theory girl. McCayleigh is that.
Well, something else I didn't like. I hated, and I think the reason why I sat on this for so long is that I hated Lauren's picture of the afterlife, and I am not in any way, shape, or form a religious person. I don't mean to be insensitive. That's just my feelings. I hate the feeling of thinking you can be by yourself forever and hate being and just be lonely for the rest of your life. I hate the way that she depicted that sort of afterlife, and it just made me feel like, oh, maybe this is something, and oh, I don't want to die now. Like, I'm freaked out. Like, Lauren, why? It's just a weird depiction of the afterlife for me, and it just made me feel really uncomfortable while reading it. I saw an interview where she said that her favorite part was writing the Moore scene of Kit going there and meeting his dad. I hated that. That was my least favorite part of him going through the moors, and there's hundreds, thousands of people there who can't see each other, and they're lonely, and they're trying to find their loved ones, but they never will find their loved ones for, like, the rest of eternity, and it was just so sad.
And I'm trying to remember, he couldn't find his mom, but maybe am I making this up? I don't know. But is this a place where they only send like the undeserving in
I
the
don't
afterlife?
know.
Because if so, then that would make sense,
I can't remember. I think that his mom was there at a time, but I think that if I'm remembering correctly, there is like a peaceful afterlife that you go after you're done with the Moors. And I think that that's where Mara sent Kit originally, so he could have like a taste of peace. And then she's like sent him like back to, took him wherever with her. So I think that in Lauren's world, you die, you go to the Moors, and you're there for I don't even know how long. And then hopefully you get this peaceful ending, but for how
Yeah.
long after you're in like hell for years? I don't know.
Right.
I don't like it.
And also, Mara, she like kind of barely touches on becoming death or whatever in her past life, but I still don't know much about her. You
Right.
know, like why are you here in Ilia? Like you just see these people and now all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm interested. Let me stick around when there's a whole rest of the world of people dying too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You have so much to be in charge of. And I guess you're
She's just
not the only one.
right. She's drawn to Ilya. Like I said, I think that she was a past queen and she has this obsession with the Azure line, and she wanted to be with Kit and she wanted to try a relationship with an Azure again, but it didn't
I
work out
see.
again. And so I think that Mara just has some vendetta now against the Azure line. And so it's interesting. So I'm wondering what will happen like with Kai, even though I mean he's not a true Azure. I mean neither is Kit technically, but we will see what happens. I don't know.
Wow. No, that theory does make sense if she's really a past queen because, yeah, that.
And I kind of picked
Yeah.
up on it because when Lenny and Blair were in Loot and Lenny was taking Blair, I guess, to his house where his mother and him used to live, Mara was in Loot and she was like, I remember being here. I remember this exact house. I remember this and that. And so she's obviously she's been here before. So I don't know. We'll see what happens next.
Wow. Maybe it's because I listened to my books. I don't pick up on this. I'm like, oh, she did? It's like I'm hearing
Mhm.
it for the first time. Oh my gosh. Wow. And
Yeah.
also, I was almost bothered at how fast she got mad at Kit and just immediately like
Yeah. Oh my
like
gosh.
180 just so fast. And now it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to make sure you're dead and give you a painful life. Like, okay, I'm glad we know how he went all kind of psycho at the end and like
Mhm.
died on the fireplace stoker. Because I remember when that happened before the novella, and we were like, well, he just was psycho and he stabbed himself or whatever, or it was a mistake. But
Right.
obviously, no,
It
it's not.
wasn't.
But she got
Yeah.
what
She
that
was crazy. That's what I'm saying. Mara
Yeah.
is a bitch. I don't like her. I hope that whatever next thing we get from Lauren, I'm sure she'll be in it, but I just don't want to read anything else from her. And I still don't like Kit, so I feel conflicted because obviously I don't want to wish harm on anyone, but you know, Kit, you would have killed thousands of people had things gone the way you wanted. I'm kind of glad that you got not a great happy ending, and I'm sorry. I know, but
He's
you
fictional. It's okay. We
yeah,
can hate him.
you're fictional, but he
Wow.
would have killed so many people, and I'm so glad that didn't happen. So,
It all ended, and they had a kid named Kit. So,
which
yeah.
I hate. I hate that so much. Whatever.
Wow.
Before we go, let's talk about all the books in the series. So far, we know hopefully this series is over. The Powerless series is over, and hopefully we get some other series. But from the Powerless series, list your favorites, rank them in order.
Okay, so I think it should be in my most liked to least liked: fearless, powerless, reckless, powerful, fearful. And I have
Fearful
a
is
hard
your least
time.
favorite.
Yes, I have a hard time with the middle two, powerful and reckless. That's what I'm like, because the novellas. It's the novellas that I'm like, did I need either of those?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, for Mac's purpose, okay, he came in this fearless.
And it's like we got
fearless,
nothing
whatever.
from Mac in this book, and I am
Yeah.
so upset. I'm so
Yeah.
sad.
So, I don't know.
Poor
He
Mac.
could have been a mention in
Powerless.
and then we could have done without the entire powerful novella.
There was
So-
someone that I saw on Goodreads that posted a review, and they were saying the same things I was saying, basically. But at the end, they were like, Lauren, this could have been like an email, or you could have done like an Instagram live and just told all of us this.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be a 200-page book. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I think Mac's name could have been mentioned
Yeah.
with Adina in Powerless. Like, oh, Adina's been hanging out with this guy. Or Adina could have told Peyton about Mac while they see each other. And then we could have done without the whole powerful book, gone straight into Reckless, and then Fearless, and done without any of the novellas, I think. But, I mean, hey, it happens. But what is your order? Because,
My favorite is Fearless, which was the one before Fearful, so the last full book. I loved it. It tied everything together. And then Powerless, the first one, which was so good. It took us to this world of Ilya, which I thought was really cool. I really enjoyed Powerful, even though I knew it was going to happen at the end. I just wanted it not to happen. I loved Adina's character so much, and I loved her story with Max. So Powerful. Reckless I did not like, and Fearful. Fearful is the worst. Which... don't like it. So after our conversation, do you think that you still rate this one 5 stars?
Oh, no. Going into this conversation, I had to go back and look at my Goodreads for the show notes. You know, I have to fill out my show notes as a podcaster does. I had to copy paste my and I was like, dang, I rated it 5 stars. That's crazy. I mean, I read this the day it came out, so I was probably excited and everything. And then on top of me just wanting to have a funny review because I think I'm funny, I was like, it'll only work if I make it 5 stars. So I am the minority here with that review. I will say that, but if I could go back, I know I would change it. I rated it 5 stars and I put it last on my list. I know I rated Reckless.
I was gonna say, that's why I said you put this last?
I know, yeah, no, I know exactly where everyone's minds went just then, because it was like, so, I mean, Reckless, I do have issues with Reckless, just because I'm like, bro,
Reckless
come on.
is boring.
Just break the 4-foot chain or whatever it is. Like, oh, and they just were, that was a lot of back and forth. But I feel like this series, and the reason I've stuck with it this long is, 1, because the podcast.
Right.
2, I feel like we have this connection to it.
Yeah.
Because we went to go see Lauren Roberts
Yeah.
for Powerful, and this was like a little girls' trip for me, Haley, and our friend Carly. We took a little girls' trip to Austin and got to meet Lauren and got the Powerful novella. So it was fun. So I feel like I have a lot of emotion tied to the actual series. So
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, that's why it has a special place in my heart, even though I don't rate every book 5 stars in the series.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go back and change my 5-star review. But just because I gotta commit. But yeah, just don't follow my reviews.
Oh my God.
They're not honest. Oh God.
All right, friends, that's our dive into Fearful by Lauren Roberts.
If you're still here, you're our kind of people. Let us know what you thought of Fearful. Did Mara's story break your heart too? DM us, comment on our Instagram, or join us in the bookish chaos in our DMs.
Interested in being a guest on the pod? Check out our link tree. It's in our Instagram and Facebook pages at 2 Chicks and a Plot Twist.
There's a form, there's merch, there's chaos. You know the drill.
You can follow me on Instagram at Haley's.books. Come see what fictional man I'm crying over this week.
And I'm at McCayleigh Daniels, where unhinged book rants happen daily.
Join us for our next episode. So excited. Can't wait for y'all to listen.
And you can expect a podcast episode from us every Thursday. See you next time.
Bye.